guys, welcome to my first trimester vlog. So this video is going to be all about each week of the first trimester, how I was feeling, symptoms, and it's pretty much just for the girls that are going through first trimester at the moment, because I loved these vlogs so much. I relied on them to tell me if my symptoms were okay, the things I was feeling, was it aligning with other women, and yeah, a lot of comfort came from these videos for me. So I hope this is helpful for you if you are in that first part of pregnancy. This is my first baby and I am 16 weeks pregnant. Still feels so weird to say that, it's coming out of my mouth, very, very strange. But yeah, very excited and feeling much better now that I'm in second trimester. So I wrote everything down in my pregnancy journal. Sometimes I couldn't be bothered writing in it, but I thought this is going to be so beneficial for the next time that I'm pregnant, because I will be able to look at it week by week and see how I was feeling. Even though each pregnancy is different, I just like to have it there and say, oh, I was feeling like this at week 5 last time. That explains why I'm feeling like it now. So yeah, I'm 16 weeks now, but it was a rough ride to get here. My goodness. I was not one of those people that was just like, oh, I've got no symptoms, like, don't even know I'm pregnant, doesn't feel like I'm pregnant. No, there was a lot. So I'm going to start with my first symptom, which made me realise I was pregnant, and I took a test, which was cramping, which is very unusual. And most people feel sore boobs at first. Mine was like a period cramp all in my uterus here. One morning I realised it had stopped and something just clicked in my head, and I thought, you need to take a test. So I just took one and it showed up straight away saying that I was 2 to 3 weeks. So very unusual, but I had this cramping for, I'd say, and it was a lot. It was not mild, like it was constant, like a dull ache, and it was until about week 10. Apparently it's just the uterus growing and expanding, but a lot of women I know don't get it, or they get it very rarely. Mine was very prevalent, like huge symptom for me. The next one was obvious, sore boobs. Didn't get that till about a week later. They do get pretty unbearable. I mean, very, very sore throughout the weeks. I was like, surely this is going to ease off soon. And they finally have eased off a little bit. So something positive for you to take from that. I also had a pretty scary symptom throughout the first trimester. I had bleeding, which is common during pregnancy. People don't realise that it is. But obviously just go to the early pregnancy unit and get it checked out. Mine was a hemorrhage inside the uterus, which is just a bruise that's bleeding, and it can happen during implantation, things like that. But it took weeks and weeks to heal, and it's very scary because I was having lots of early scans every 10 days just because they wanted to make sure it was all okay in there. But the healing felt like it went on forever, so just lots of like bleeding. When that finally went away, it was such a weight off my shoulders. And because obviously you do think that it may be something else. They also put me on aspirin to prevent the blood from clotting, so it's good that they can do something about that. So let's start from week 7, because you don't really get much symptoms apart from the sore boobs and the cramping for me. Week 7 hit and the queasiness kicked in. Now I'm very, very lucky, and thank the Lord that I didn't get any vomiting. I was just very queasy, and it was mostly when I was hungry, so I could prevent it, which was amazing. However, I had gone off a lot of foods and I was just eating beige food, so cereal, your toast, anything that wasn't veg or anything that smelt. Oh God, the smells, I couldn't stand anything. So I was sticking to very simple beige foods that don't smell and are very plain. Week 7, I felt extremely, extremely tired. The fatigue was real. I lay on the sofa for what felt like months, and my husband picked up everything in the house. Thank God he picked up the washing, made sure the kitchen was clean every day, just kept on top of all the chores, because the house right now would be an absolute bomb site. So I'm really grateful that he helped me there. But I would just feel like if I sat on the sofa, not one thing would make me want to get up. I had to drag myself off the sofa just to go to the toilet, which obviously is another symptom, lots and lots of peeing, because the uterus is so low. It is sat on the bladder at first before it moves up in the second trimester. But yeah, I just felt like a complete sloth. I felt disgusting. I forced myself to go on the treadmill and go for walks, just trying to get at least 7,500 steps in. Looking back, I don't know how I did that, because that must have taken me a lot to kind of force myself to get up. But it was because I felt so sick of lying on the sofa doing nothing, and you feel like, right, I just need to get up now, I just need to move my body. No matter how tired I am, I cannot stay in this position for so long, because all my back was hurting and I was very stiff from just lying in one position all the time. So yeah, that's probably why I ended up doing some walking. But yeah, I don't feel any pressure if you really don't feel like exercising in that period, because it's horrible. I've never felt fatigue like it. It was awful. I am wondering if I should have been taking the pregnancy multivitamin from this point, because I was only taking folic and D, because I get worried about pregnancy multivitamin giving me spots. With the B6 and B12 that's in multivitamin, it does make acne worse, so I didn't want to do that, so I stayed on just the folic and the D. But I am wondering if I took the multi, would I have had more energy in that first trimester? Because it has things like iron in it. Got the queasiness and the tiredness, and then from week 9, I noticed that my moods were brilliant. So usually I'm quite a mood swingy person, and I get really bad PMS, and me and my husband have some really big fights around that time. But wow, I just feel so much more stable this week. I noticed that we are just so much more positive, me and Joe, and he has noticed as well. He was saying that he felt like I was being nicer to him, so that was really nice, and probably the best thing to come out of this week, because everything else was sickness and tiredness. Oh sorry, that was week 8, not week 9. So how I felt: nauseous when I think of certain food, and quite bad when Joe cooks prep kitchen meals, which is like just a ready meal service that he kept putting in the microwave. It was knocking me so sick. I couldn't be in the room, it was awful. Wanting sweet things, chocolate sweets, meringue, fruit, berry smoothies, lots of honey, which obviously you have to curb because you can get gestational diabetes, but I just wanted sweet, sweet, sweet. Boobs so sore and itchy. My bloat comes and goes some days. I get the metallic taste sometimes, not often. Quavers taste much cheesier, Quavers the crisps, and leave an almost rancid taste in my mouth when I've finished, but I don't mind it. That's so funny. It was like a sour, very strange taste. But yeah, like I said, I didn't mind it for some reason. I felt more myself this week with energy. For example, I organised the dressing room yesterday, the most energy that I've had in weeks. That went back down, so that was not when the energy started to go up. Washing hasn't been touched, thank God Joe's taken over the house. Hair on my body growing rapidly. Smells are more prevalent. Breath is a big one, and bodily smells. On myself, I feel like I'm smellier, but it could be my sense of smell. Feeling so hungry, but it's after my tablets, so that could be why. Because if you take vitamins on an empty stomach, you're gonna feel sick. Then I feel sick, so I'm forcing nuts and raw carrot down me because I was having so much sugar, so I was trying to get some nutrition in me. Craved jacket potato and butter and had it twice. I am a singer, and it does say that I managed to pull some energy together to sing on stage for 45 minutes, get myself ready and things like that, which I was really dreading because I was like, how am I going to do this when all I've been doing is lying on the sofa? I don't feel like doing anything, but I did manage to muster it up, so I was happy about that. Really feel like I need to do something, but the fatigue just wants me to curl up and get cozy. Craving loads of milk. I'm still on the milk right now. I don't know if it's my body's kind of crying out for calcium for the baby, because the baby is taking all of my calcium, so I do need to make sure that I've got my calcium intake up, really. I had to buy a whole new wardrobe because waistbands irritate me. This is a massive thing. So I'm wearing a dress right now. Still, I cannot wear a waistband. I know people that are wearing normal leggings that aren't maternity and they've got big bumps, but for me, I cannot stand anything on here. It just feels wrong and it feels really tight and uncomfortable. Even if I go for a bigger size, I just don't like anything being there. I need more quick snacks in the house. I've written here, definitely get some cereal bars and have them in your bedside drawer. Wherever you get ready in the morning, have them on hand, because the sickness just comes in a wave because you're hungry and you just need to shove something down you as quick as possible. I would also experience this at night before I was going to sleep, and then I couldn't get to sleep because of the sickness, so I'd have to reach for it in my bedside drawer. This is the funniest thing I've written in the book. I could smell a man's scent behind me in a cafe today. Just a middle-aged man's smell. Ew. I remember being able to smell absolutely everyone and anything. Even if it was over there, I could just smell it, and that has disappeared now, so thank God. Peeing frequently still, a bit of constipation for the first time, but apart from that, just cramps along with trapped gas. I've put that I'm really missing red wine and Stilton. Found out you can have Stilton on the NHS website. It's just blue cheese you can't have. Stilton is different. And Joe was absolutely fantastic with me, very supportive and excited. Forced myself to walk every day last week. Need to keep it up because it gives me more energy and keeps me at a healthy weight. Need to curb the sugar. Mood is quite content most of the time with slight irritation, but rare. Very indecisive with music. Again, because I'm a singer, I'm so into my music, all sorts of genres, but just keep skipping songs. I'm like, oh, I just hate this. This is annoying me right now. Very catchy songs, I'd be like, oh, get this off. It's so annoying. And then I also felt like I was nesting, which I know is not really a thing at this point. It's kind of when you're about to have the baby. But I had a massive urge to get the house in order. Don't know what that is, or if that was because I was pregnant or not. Up to week 10, it says all I've been eating is cereal, toast and eggs. I didn't think smells were affecting me that much, but I don't want to make anything that smells, even though egg stinks. I put... Egg is a really smelly food, but I was okay with that. I want plain or sugary things. I've got the worst stomach from all of the white bread that I'm eating, and my tiredness is back, but it could be the bad diet. Screen time is really bad. I'm just curled up on the phone constantly. Shortness of breath. Oh my God. This was massive. I would bend down and do my shoes up, and I was like, and I would like have to say, give me a minute, I can't even speak. I still have this really bad, and I think this is the thing that you get all the way through. When we go for a walk, I have to tell Joe to stop sometimes. If it's even slightly uphill, it is like I'm running a marathon. It's a really annoying symptom, that, but it's basically because everything's squashed. All your organs are being pushed up and squashing the lungs. So very annoying, and I can't wait to get a full breath again. And I do have mild asthma, so maybe that's making it a little bit worse, but I do know other women that have felt exactly the same as me. I do remember being on the treadmill as well, thinking, should I be pushing myself with this shortness of breath, or should I just stop, because it feels very wrong. My friend did say to me, it's your body telling you to rest, which might be true, but I just, again, felt like I needed to walk and move my body. Uterus was the size of a grapefruit right now, and the cramps have finally settled. Yeah, that was week 10. Maybe it's because the uterus had got to a big enough size. I don't know, I'm not a professional. On to week 11, my symptoms were still odd times of queasiness, so that was getting better. And craving creamy pasta and mushroom dishes. I just lived on carbonara and just like chicken supreme and things like that. Still bloated, but it doesn't compare to those earlier weeks. I didn't actually mention this actually, I was extremely bloated. I looked 5 months pregnant already. It was ridiculous. It was so annoying because a lot of people don't get this, but I just looked so pregnant already. People would say, oh, you've got a bump, the people that knew, like my family. I'd be like, no, it's just bloat. It's just because everything is squashed in here again, and it makes it really slow down the digestive tract. Everything's getting really stuck. I really struggled with that. In the morning, I have a small bump quite low down. Tidied the whole house today and did the washing all before 11:30, which is a massive achievement. This sounds so petty, but that was huge for me, like being able to just get up and get some jobs done rather than slothing about. First trimester dragging so much. I think it dragged so much as well because all of the apps were saying that second trimester starts at different times. I had one saying it starts at 12, another 13, another 14, and one said 15 weeks. So I have no idea. Nobody knows. Online, you Google it. No one actually knows. Everybody says different, which then makes it hard to tell when your third trimester is as well. Really annoying. They need to just choose a week and stick with it, please. I'd said that it was dragging so much and I might get some fiction novels to distract and pass the time. I never did that. Bought baggy clothes for my holiday, but I can't be bothered trying them on because I'm so tired. Past week has been really hard with breathlessness, forcing myself to get my steps in, but failing. And then sleeping, started with this strange insomnia. Just twice now I've been awake randomly in the middle of the night for an hour or two. Last night I got it just trying to get to sleep. Apparently that is to do with your hormone levels. Trap gas has been the biggest problem. It's given me horrendous pain. I did have too much kiwi the other day and I had the worst stomach. Just had to stop filming there because our pram has just arrived downstairs. Very exciting. It gets to the booking appointment where you sit and answer loads of questions from the midwife about your family history and things. It's not actually a scan, but I have put my 13-week dating scan is booked in. At the end of the first trimester is nigh. So it finally felt like we were getting somewhere. And then we do skip to week 15 and I am going to do a second trimester vlog. So I will just do a little preview where basically it says I have a bit more energy, but I still don't feel great. I'm getting headaches and joint aches daily and still craving sugar, but don't like chocolate at the moment. It depends what it is. Just to let you know, people kind of say when you get to second you feel amazing, like there's just a switch and you have tons more energy and you get glowy and all sorts. For weeks and weeks, I'd say 3 weeks after, I still felt the same. Just the queasiness getting a little bit better, but honestly just felt awful. So don't get in your head that it's going to be fine at second. Some people's takes a while and mine definitely took ages, and I'm finally at the point where I can say I feel much better. I hope that was all helpful. Oh, that's what I wanted to do, show you my bump. So this is how we're looking at the moment. Obviously, I'm quite big for 15 weeks. Still very soft. Well, at night it's very tight because I've eaten as well, but still very soft and squidgy. Every bump's different, but mine is definitely on the bigger side for 16 weeks. Did I say 15 before? I'm 16. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will keep you updated about the pregnancy. Thanks for watching, guys.